Hey folks, good morning. A little cold, not bad out there. Beautiful sunny morning, but it is a little cool here in the North Georgia mountains. And that's why we're indoors at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge. This is our indoor home throughout the, well, it's not winter yet, but I would have everybody all upset if we were at Sycamore Crossing, although it's beautiful outside, but we're at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge. I'm your host, BKP. And let's see what all we got going on this morning. We have Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley, and we're happy to have Dr. Ray Tidman will be with us today. And so he will be covering for Dr. Whaley on our Ask the Doc segment coming up in just a minute. And then we have North Georgia, we have the All-Star Political Panel, and our good friend Jane is traveling. So it'll be Rick, Bruce, there you go. So it'll be just the three of us this morning on the All-Star Political Panel. And let's see what else we have going on. We have North Georgia Senior Living with Jesse Barton, the Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall, Ellijay. I got that down. And then we do not have the Pet of the Week. Rena is traveling. And so right now we're trying to find somebody over at the Humane Society. If you'd like to help, let them know. If you would bring the Pet of the Week, Rena has some things that she has to take care of for a little bit, so she's not able to bring our pet. So if you would like to volunteer to bring the Pet of the Week over here and do the segment, we'd love to have you. So anyhow, that's everything we got going on. And nice. You know, I come in here in the morning and all of these TVs are on, and I spend like 30 minutes trying to pick which one I want to take home. I'm telling you that the whole wall over here is TVs. And I get in trouble if I say Christmas, right? It's like, is there something I'm not supposed to? I see the things on the internet right now, Jeremy, where if you say Christmas and we're not past Thanksgiving, some people get upset about it.
You got to cut the turkey first.
All right, so you got to cut the turkey first. That's the word from the background here. So we're going to cut the turkey first, but I know you guys are working on some amazing Christmas deals, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so anyhow, you know, folks, I think their impeachment attempt is falling apart. I really do. I think it's falling apart. We do know the whistleblower now, Ciaramella. We know the whistleblower has never been is not a whistleblower by definition of the whistleblower law. Now, sometimes that gets a little confusing, but the whistleblower law is intended for government employees to go with concerns in fear of losing their job. They have protections. But we know this is not. They want, what is the word, guise, under the guise of a whistleblower? It's a spy. So we do know there was a spy in the White House, and more, they're still there, that went to someone in Adam Schiff's staff, we'll leave it at that, created this whole whistleblower thing to get a ball rolling downhill, and said once it goes downhill and we get Volcker and we get the other guy we'll talk about, I forget his name, Taylor, right? Taylor. And we get this one, and we start testimony behind closed doors. He is done. It's falling apart. The impeachment, we do know, what is his name, the attorney? I should have pulled that up for, I could probably get it here. Won't take but a second. All right, we know the whole thing has been put together, and I can't find the attorney's name right now, but the attorney, Mark Zaid, there it is. We know Mark Zaid, the attorney for the whistleblower or spy, tweeted out, there's several tweets out there with his true heart's intention for our President of the United States to create a coup and remove him from office. Wow. And then you go up, we'll just throw a couple little things in here. Then you go up with, I had one more here, it won't take but a second. Fired anti-Trump ambassador Yovanovitch lied under oath during impeachment testimony about contact with Dem staffer. It's falling apart, the impeachment attempt, because our President of the United States asked the President Zelensky of a very corrupt Ukraine, very corrupt, said, hey, before I send the American people's taxpayer money, could you look at the whole Burisma thing and look into that corruption? / could you look in, see if there was any meddling in our elections in 2016? And boom. Okay. So I've got to take a break here in just a minute. We have Ask the Doc. There's a lot of news this morning. I wouldn't call it news. There's a lot of reporting this morning that Michael Bloomberg, former New York City mayor, is going to enter the Democrat race. A lot of speculation around that. And then let's see. We'll talk to the All-Star Political Panel. I think we've got on the All-Star Political Panel. I think we'll Jeffrey Beauregard Sessions. So what will it be like for Jeff Sessions to be on the ballot running for senator, Republican ballot, running for senator of Alabama? What will that be like with the president and Jeff Sessions? We'll talk to the panel. We got a lot to go over. It's falling apart, folks. The spy in the White House and Adam Schiff and the deep state corporate corrupt media, it's falling apart. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a brief break, and when we return, we'll have Dr. Ray Tidman on here and Ask the Doc. Take us a break, Lonnie.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
8 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hey, we're back, and I'm your host, BKP. And yes, it's a little cool this morning up here in North Georgia, but beautiful day, so come up this weekend and join us. We're at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge, a little cold. How are you? You're not Dr. Wade.
No. I'm Dr. Whaley with a haircut. Serious haircut.
It's time for Ask the Doc, and Dr. Whaley is traveling this morning, and we wish him well. We want to thank Georgia Cancer Research Center, affiliated with Northside Hospital, for this segment, and we're glad to have Dr. Ray Tidman with us this morning. How are you, sir?
Good.
Good?
Very good.
You look like you want to say something. What do you...
No, I'm like the Cheshire Cat today. I'm looking forward to the questions.
I'm just happy to be.
Yes.
I stopped and I got my coffee.
Yes.
All right, now I know I don't want to say you got to tell the audience what you sent me this morning. I wouldn't do that, but I thought it was great because I feel that way. So tell the
Well,
audience.
there's a little background on that because one of my daughters frequent Starbucks, and now we have two Starbucks.
Right.
So one whose name won't go unmentioned was the customer of the week. And they had her name up there. So every time she'd go in, she'd be like all puffed up and everything. Of course, letting her sister know that she was the customer of the week.
This is great.
So the cartoon I sent you was this old fellow standing at the Starbucks counter, and one of the girls is saying to the other one, says, "Do we have a drink called cup of coffee?"
So one day I'm standing at one of the coffee places, out of town, not locally, and I run in for a cup of coffee, and I'm listening to this young lady order, and I look over and I'm like, how do you know that? How do you know all these things you wanted in your coffee, and how did you ever do? So obviously she gave me that look of like, who's this old guy, talking to me?
Well, see, it could be worse. It's because one of my first times there, as I'm about to check out, the young girl says, "Do you get the senior discount?" I'm like, I know you're trying to be nice and helpful. Do I look like I get the senior discount? Because you're really making me feel old now. So.
Okay, so if you like coffee, if it takes a while for you to order coffee, this is my order. Coffee black, no room for cream and sugar. Move over, get my coffee. There's my order. But I wonder sometimes.
You really stump them.
Yeah. Coffee black, no room for cream and sugar. And I could be at the order and the pickup just like that.
Yeah.
But I listen to them order, and good for them. They enjoy it. Good for them. I'm happy for them. But I tell you what, when they came out with iced coffee, I had to go home and see if I could understand that. But we'll leave it at that. Our coffee discussion.
Yes.
But I appreciate it. He sent me a little cartoon this morning that I thought was humorous because it hit home just a couple of weeks ago when I was trying to order coffee. You want to get to the questions?
Sure.
We probably should.
Let's go.
Okay. So you're not customer of the week?
No. I'd have to be down there a lot more than I am to do that. So.
We want to thank Northside Hospital for this segment and Dr. Ray Tidman with us today. Let's see. There is much publicity about testosterone treatment and abuse and state regulations. My father has low testosterone after treatment for colon cancer, and his doctor wants to treat him with testosterone. Is that proper, and what should we know about that treatment?
So this is a cool question, and let's go to the very end of it. Is that proper? In medicine, we try to use medications that are safe and effective. That is it a medicine that's been studied, hopefully in a blinded trial, placebo-controlled, and it's been shown to be, A, to do what it says it's going to do, and B, that it doesn't cause harm. But when you have medicines that are basically based upon natural occurring substances like testosterone, nobody's going to do a trial on that. I mean, we've got testosterone in our bodies. These trials cost billions of dollars. So it's not like you can say, okay, well, let's spend $1 billion to see if this thing that's already in our bodies is effective or safe, because it's safe and it's effective. The question is, what does effective mean?
So your body's producing this.
Yeah, our body produces testosterone.
And it could be low.
It could be low. And, you know, we're all living longer.
Right.
And so it's more and more natural for us to become low in our testosterone.
Actually, that's my current hope. I want to go back. We're all living.
That you will live longer.
Yeah, I'm all right. Go
Looking
ahead.
at you.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I mean, I can tell looking at you right now, you can at least get through the weekend. So you're
Okay. All right. I'm sorry for the interruption.
I usually save the jokes for the last, but you know about the
Oh, no,
patient,
you have great material.
the patient that came in and the doctor said, I've got good news and bad news. And the patient said, no, he said, I got bad news and awful news. And the patient said, well, give me the bad news first. And he goes, well, you're going to die in 3 days. And he said, well, doc, what's worse than that? And he said, well, I've been trying to reach you for 2. So.
Okay, so testosterone, our body naturally creates that. It's low,
Right.
so they don't spend a lot of money on a study here.
The study to say,
Right.
okay, well, what is a proper dose? And so what you get are the groups of specialists who come out and they all sit down and they think about it and they come to a consensus about what they think you should get. Maybe they do that, maybe they don't. But in any case, it is an opinion. And physicians may or may not follow those opinions. Some physicians may or may not be aware of it. Some of them may not even have time for it because it's kind of a quality of life issue. Well, it is really a quality of life issue because if you're a man and your testosterone levels have dropped, I mean, it's not just a bedroom issue. I mean, your whole mood becomes sullen. Your outlook is kind of dark sky, just foreboding. Sometimes your ability to problem solve is a little bit slowed. It's a very subtle thing. Ladies, when their estrogens drop, they kind of know it. They get the hot flashes, they get the mood swings, they get all these vasomotor things that tell that their body tells them something ain't right here. Men, they just kind of like creep off this cliff, and it's a tough thing. And it's so slow and so insidious that most of them have no idea they're there. So unless a doctor, A, asks that question, or B, checks a level, and by the way, the levels are humongous. I mean, the levels may be a low normal in some lab of 250 all the way up to 900. Well, that's a big, high thing. But if you lived most of your life at 800 and now you're 300, you're not low, technically, but you're low mentally. So there's all these latitudes of how to treat that. I think the big take-home answer to this question is if you think or if you feel as a man at any age like, well, something's just not right here. I just don't have it. I'm just not with it anymore. I can't problem solve like I used to. I just can't pivot and do things like I used to. Ask the question, is my testosterone low? And ask it from a physician, your physician, your primary physician, who cares about that. Because it's not, you don't want somebody to just blow you off and say, oh yeah, you're 250, you're 251, 250 is low. No, you're symptomatic. If you're symptomatic of low T, then your doctor ought to be addressing that. Now, the safety side of it, if you've got a patient with severe heart disease, then you've got to think a little bit twice about putting them on high testosterone. There are some conflicted numbers there that may say that those people are a little higher risk for stroke and heart attacks. If you've got somebody who's had testicular cancer and or some kinds of prostate cancer, then elevating their testosterone may be problematic. But I had a case one time of a patient who had prostate cancer. He was on the medications that drive your testosterone into the basement. I mean, he's on medicines making his testosterone low as a treatment. And he was suicidally depressed. I mean, tearful, didn't want to get out of bed, miserable. And I called his oncologist and we had a little talk about it. And his oncologist said his depression is more deadly than the chance of reoccurring prostate cancer. Treat him. Get his testosterone level up. So here it is. It's relatively contraindicated, but his other symptoms said, he needs to be treated. So testosterone treatment, male health is becoming more and more of an awareness issue, and testosterone is an important aspect of that.
So let me ask you a question. So you went through, could you do that one more time? Some of the indicators, if a man could start seeing, and you know, sometimes in all jokes aside, you know, when you say, you know, judgment or processing and things like that is not the same. Like, would you, every time, is there an age, like at every time you went to the doctor, you would want them to check, or
I guess that's one of the things I'm hinting at, because there are no big societal recommendations. Here's
Right.
what you need to do.
Right.
Here's the level you treat, and here's when you start checking. It doesn't exist. And the level of awareness in my profession is low. There are a lot of physicians that just don't even bother with it. There are abuses. You know, there are young people who get on testosterone because they're muscling up for some
Right.
bodybuilding thing. It's inappropriate use of testosterone. There are some people that think that testosterone, you can get it orally, or you can get it over the counter, or you can buy these testosterone boosters, and there are millions of dollars being made on those testosterone boosters. And then, of course, you always lead the fine print, you know, not meant to treat a medical condition. It's all hooey.
So the first part of this question, there is much publicity about testosterone treatment.
Yeah.
If you're low or feel you're low, over the counter.
Yeah, the snake oil salesman just walk away from that.
Right.
You know, and there's you.
Because it's going to say somewhere on there, not
meant to treat a medical condition.
Right.
Right.
So if you feel you're low, or I guess the signs that you've indicated this morning,
Right.
talk to your physician.
Talk to your physician. Find out what your level is. Is it relatively low? And would testosterone be right for you? And the other really cool thing about this is that there are new forms of it. Now, this is another place to digress here. Testosterone is a molecule that doesn't get inside of us through our GI tract. Our GI tract digests it. You can't get it in there. Okay? So you have to put it on as a cream or as a shot. And heretofore, the shots were going in the doctor's office, or if your wife was a nurse, having your wife give it to you every couple weeks or every month. And so you'd have these high levels that would drift back down. So you're sawing up and down constantly with your levels.
So if you're taking something, a testosterone supplement,
Right.
it's not ingesting.
You don't take it as a pill.
Right. It's
Got to go through the skin.
got to go through the skin.
Right.
To work.
And so there's a new formulation where it's the same old drug, but they've got a little device where you can auto-inject it once a week. And, you know, people are scared to death of needles. Well, this thing is a mosquito bite. I mean, you
Right.
don't feel this needle. You hold the pin against your fat, push this button, count to 6, clicks, and you're done. And you don't even know you're giving yourself a shot. So it's so easy now, and it's a once a week injection, so you can have levels that are very consistent. You know, it's a nice long-acting form of it. It's consistently being given to you, and so you don't have to have the big draw up something, hold up the needle, get a drop. You know what I mean? All that's gone now. Now it is proprietary. It is pricey, so you've got to have an insurance policy that covers it, and a doctor that's willing to fight with the insurance company to get it prescribed.
All right, thank you very much. That was great information. Okay, Lonnie has twice. You have helped, but I'm not going to be able. I have to have help with pronouncing this word again. I just am not going to be able to get these syllables out appropriately.
Okay. Let me read it.
Well, my husband has
Polycythemia.
Polycythemia. I got to keep saying I tried that and I couldn't just.
Poly is many, cythemia is cells.
Cells. My husband has polycythemia, and the doctor thinks it is related to his snoring and sleep issues. How do you make that diagnosis, and is sleep apnea serious?
Well, sleep apnea is serious. Sleep apnea can occur without polycythemia.
What is polycythemia?
So the Latin is poly many, cythemia, so cells in the blood, emia is blood.
Right.
So many red blood cells. Patients who, instead of being anemic, they are super high red blood cells.
Okay.
And those red blood cells are, in this situation, compensatory. That is, the body is making more red blood cells because it's feeling like I don't have enough oxygen running around here, right? So it compensates by making more red
So
blood
if
cells.
if your body gets an indication from you internally,
I need more
oxygen
blood
level,
up here.
you know,
Yeah, and so that's the it's a subtle thing that if I had a patient come in and they don't appear to be, they don't have the classic sleep apnea look, whatever that is, but if they come in and everything's fine except the red blood cell count is high, then I should ask the question as a physician, well, maybe they've got sleep apnea. So then I'll say, if their wife is there, does he snore? Does he stop breathing? Do you have to jar him at night? Or if the wife's not there, and this could be vice versa. The women get this also. So the husband could report on the wife. Similarly, do you feel tired when you wake up? Do you find you have to take a nap during the day? What are your energy levels like? How are you doing? And those patients that are sleep apneic are not resting well, and their breathing cycles get down cycled, and they are not delivering the oxygen to their brain. So therefore, the body, in a compensatory fashion, makes more red blood cells trying to get more blood up there. That's the polycythemia side of it. So back to the whole issue of sleep apnea. Now, more and more people are talking about this, and it is a major issue. If you're having trouble with your weight, if you're having trouble with your blood pressure, if you're having trouble with wakefulness, falling asleep while you're driving, or having to go take a nap, those are all the quintessential markers for sleep apnea. It's a major problem, and we put on a little extra weight. Our airways tend to want to close at night from that weight. Then we are just basically not ventilating. Our body's not moving enough oxygen.
okay. So, because see, I wonder. I mean, I think when you have a long day and you got things you have to do in the evening and you get up early, I think there's nothing wrong with being tired in the afternoon, because it should be normal as you've got a lot of hours in, and you take a little nap, and it's what I'm saying. So, but I have to say, when I get up, or myself personally, I don't know. I think a lot of people get up, they don't know if they slept well last night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And there's some people that's the way they are. I mean, there's some people I joke around. They're like a farmer. I mean, like 5 o'clock, their eyes come open, they're ready to go. I need to get out there, get the chickens fed, get the tractor going. They're just moving, and that's the way they're built. And there are other people, they're groggy in the morning. They're, quote, not morning people, and they've been that way their whole life. Well, it's hard to tell with those folks. But most people know themselves, know their bodies, and they if they look back, they can say, well, I'm not what I used to be. And and it's not just a matter of being a decade older here. I'm really, I really got to go take a nap, or, I look forward to that nap. Now, there's nothing wrong with a nap. I think a big fat nap is a great thing in life.
I love it.
So
I don't argue with
Don't
them.
hear me on that. I'm not putting naps down at all. I'm just saying, if your life has changed and you have to take a nap and you're not functioning like you used to, get this tested. Now, one of the other nice things about this, and I always harp on technology and how we're improving things, the screening is so much easier now. I mean, the doctor orders a home test. You go pick it up, you take it home, you put a couple of leads on your chest that monitors your heart, put a little lead on your finger, you have a little strap that goes around your chest that looks at your breathing, and it records overnight at home in your bed. So you're at home, okay? And then a report is generated from that, and the doctor can, at that level, see, is that person stopping breathing, and are their oxygen levels dropping? And if those two things show up on the test, then you need further testing. But you can find out from a lot of people with fairly good ease, is this a problem or not? So the level of testing now is pretty slick.
I can't wait to get up in the morning, because I love this opportunity. I love the opportunity every day of getting another shot at this thing called life. So I'm one of those, my eyes open up in the morning, I'm ready to go. So, wow, I get another shot at this, and then Monday I have no trouble with Monday. I get to go back to work. I know it's strange, I understand, but I get to go do it again. I understand.
You remind me of that motto.
I trust me. I've been told things from people.
Well, what I always say, it's better to be seen than viewed.
Well, I'll tell you what. When you're like on the weekends, then on the weekends, like sometimes I'll get up early and then I'll say something to somebody and I'll say, "What's wrong?" And they'll say, "You're talking to me."
It's not a morning person.
There's nothing wrong. You're just talking to me. So we'll leave it at that. I appreciate you coming on and doing this and filling in for the good Dr. Whaley. Anything, I know a lot of times, well, we just had the first question surrounded men's health, but a lot of times when you come in, you like to, before we leave, any advancements, anything going on with men's health or something like that, or anything you want to make sure the audience knows. Is there anything this morning you'd like to share before?
Just the general statement that if you feel like something has changed drastically in your life, particularly for guys, I treat guys a little bit differently. I'm developing this theory in my head that we're hardwired to think that we're 20 years old our entire life.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I can go out in that garden and I'm maybe 80, but I can work for 8 hours.
I got it.
No, that ain't.
No.
Or I can get on that bicycle and I can ride 20 miles an hour for 5 miles. I did that when I was 20. I can do that when I'm 60. So there's something about us guys that we don't get that. So for men, if you feel like something has changed, you got a good wife, she's going to drag you into the doctor's office. Sometimes you got to drag yourself in there, or you got to at least say, "Okay, I'll go," and ask the question. None of them are dumb questions. They're all good questions, and a good doctor will help you start tracking it down.
I appreciate it. Well, now, did you have you used up all your material, or did you say?
I'm a week late.
Earlier. I mean, you're already you already announced to the audience. It looks like I can make it through the weekend, so I feel good about that. I'm not going to buy green bananas right now.
Yeah,
but
that's right. That's when your doctor says that, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So, this one's a Halloween joke. I guess I can tell a Halloween joke.
Sure, why not?
I got it from one of the kids. It's a medical joke. Why is Dracula vegetarian?
I don't know.
He heard steaks were bad for your heart.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it at that. It's always good. It's always good to have Dr. Raymond Tidman with us here on Ask the Doc. We want to thank Georgia Cancer Research Center, affiliated with Northside Hospital, for this segment. We want to wish Dr. Whaley well as he's traveling and welcome him back soon. If you would like to send a question to the doctor, please just email us, info, I-N-F-O, at fetchyournews.com. Put in the subject line, Ask the Doc, and we'll get it to Dr. Whaley. Also, don't forget, these segments are all uploaded on our YouTube channel, FYN TV, Fetch Your News. All right? Under the playlist, click on Playlist. That's simple. And you'll see Ask the Doc. So a lot of these questions that we have, you might want to share with family and friends or watch again. So we're going to take a brief break. Again, Dr. Tidman, thank you very much. We're going to take a brief break. And when we come back, it'll be time for the All-Star Political Panel. And what do I always say, like a broken record? I wonder if we have anything to talk about. Take us to break.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Circuit World has complete queen bedroom packages at amazing prices. Get this queen bed, dresser and mirror, 1 nightstand, bedding set, and free 32-inch TV, all for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this complete queen bedroom set and sleep in style, also for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. What an incredible deal. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
I'm Jeff Riblett, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hey folks, we're back and we are at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge. A little cold this morning, guys, but not bad.
Yeah, a little frost on the pumpkin.
But it's beautiful outside.
Cold front moving in after the rain.
Yeah. Cold front moving in. What are you doing? The weather now?
I am. I'll do the next I'll do the 5-minute segment since there's no pet of the week.
The green line
moved
live.
As you're watching the weather move this way, that front is going here. Hey folks, it's time for the All-Star Political Panel. And we will predict the political weather. How about that? Forget the weather.
Remember the hippy-dippy weatherman?
No, I do not remember the hippy-dippy weatherman.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Go ahead, go. Is this a Chicago thing?
No, it's George Carlin.
Oh, okay, yes.
George Carlin was the hippy-dippy weatherman.
Yes, okay, I remember
for the
that now.
hippy-dippy weatherman.
Okay, I got it.
The forecast for tonight is dark.
By the way, this is Bruce and this is Rick. If you're just joining us for the first time, we're the All-Star Political Panel.
For the first time, where you been?
Yeah.
There may be nice the first time.
I am being nice.
Gosh.
I'm being nice, but
if it's the first time,
it upsets me the good stuff that they've missed.
Are you growing the viewer base? Is
That's
it
what I'm
expanding
saying.
leaps and bounds?
We want every Friday. We want the first-time viewer. Relax there. What do you say?
Turbo.
There you go. There you go.
Have any of your clips ever been used nationally?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, they have.
I didn't know that.
Yes, they have. I'm not going to even mention the network. I turned the network down one time. It called me. I said I refused to go on your show.
Whoa.
Aren't you affiliated with CNN?
Lonnie, go to break.
We got a mess in aisle 3.
I tell you what. You stay back there. You keep trying to sell TVs. All right. We're the All-Star Jane, we wish you well.
She's
safe
in Plano,
travel.
Texas.
Don't make me tell this.
Oh, she didn't go to the game.
Oh, no.
Oh.
They want to know. They want to know about the impeachment inquiry.
Is there-
Inquiry.
there is
I call
one?
it inquiry.
How about inquest?
Inquest.
Yeah, Inquest.
So
Is there one?
it's falling apart. Do you think it's falling apart?
Oh, well, I don't think it was ever. I mean,
The attempt.
We all agree it's falling apart. They will never agree. They will come up with some, crazy thing they're going to hang their hat on next. So it's never ending.
Am I dramatic, emotional? How far out there am I if I say, truly as an American, when those I thought when Peter Strzok and Lisa Page and we started reading insurance policy and this and that, when we started getting Zaid, is that his name? Mark Zaid? Is he the attorney?
The attorney.
Yes. When we started getting those tweets that actually had coup,
I can't.
I am in. I mean, it's scary to me. I mean, am I wrong?
No, I mean, Bruce and I had a long segment on
my country
on
is,
deep state and just how they operate, and that's exactly how they operate. They operate in the shadows. They are government, lifelong civil servants that don't move on with the administrations as they get voted in and voted out.
Yeah, they're carryovers.
Yeah, they're just carryovers, and they think it is their responsibility and duty to the and they're zealots. Your responsibility and duty to the American public to see that this nation carries out their wishes, not the administration's wishes, but the wishes of the underpinnings, the underbelly.
And like with the coup, I mean, what they do is they just start redefining it. I mean, he came out and said, "Oh, the coup meant like an internal thing, just amongst us guys and gals. There's nothing, nefarious about it."
Yeah, you saw all the people.
Yeah, but
that
look
were,
at all the tweets that are out now that he has been a part of. There's several, and in the one it's. The impeachment is, isn't there a tweet, and I don't have them up on the screen because we don't do too much of that here. We just let it go. Bruce is the one that brings notes. So we keep sending out the rule book.
Yeah,
No
you
notes.
got the screen? Come on, you got
it
the
says,
screen.
Ask the doc questions. But that being said, he has one of the tweets has, the coup. Then one of them said something to the reference of CNN will play a part.
Of
right?
course. Yeah, do either of the two of you feel like I do that you just sit back and you think, how in the world do the Democrats like Pelosi and those sitting in the seats of power, if you will, how do they sit there and they go, oh my God, how are we going to live this one down?
What did Hillary Clinton say?
What are we going to say to obfuscate the obvious?
Hillary Clinton said Democratic voters are stupid.
No, until I
that's true.
I don't want to say I don't want to say you're wrong.
That's their base. I mean, so they know that, so they don't really have to
So
explain
I think Pelosi and them sit there sometimes and say, okay, where are we going to go now?
They didn't see this coming.
But until the media. Now I watch CNN and MSNBC, and I know the audience maybe gets tired of hearing that, but I watched them totally ignore it like it did not happen, period. Okay, this morning at 6 a.m., what is Joe and the gang talking about? They're talking about, will Michael Bloomberg get in the race today? Because Alabama, you have to file today if you want in. So they were not talking about
Zaid.
They were not talking about, I had another one up here.
His law partner. That whole firm makes a practice of going after presidents, regardless of the party.
Were they talking about Schiff?
Emails obtained by Tucker Carlson tonight show.
Oh, that's the bomb show with Zavanovich.
Yeah, show ambassador contact Dem staffer despite denial.
Twice.
Right.
On a back channel.
They'll just roll
on
over
her
that.
private email server.
Oh, I forgot. I misspoke. You lied through your teeth. Excuse me.
You must be referring to Adam Schiff.
No, I'm talking to the ambassador.
Schiff has revealed the spy's name. I'm trying to not even say whistleblower because the whistleblower law is set up for that employee that, I'm just going to say,
It's the intelligence
he has a
community.
wife and 3 kids, or maybe the opposite, and they need their job Monday. They got a mortgage, but there
It's
is something-
specifically for the job.
The job, exactly. I won't lose my job. This guy is a spy.
And a liar, too.
Right.
A leaker and a liar.
Right.
If you don't think that thing was all contrived, and my opinion is that it was a 2-for-1. I think that a twofer. This thing was set up. This whistleblower thing was set up to get Biden at the same time.
Ooh.
Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. Biden was
It was almost like we had that written in the script.
No,
Sure.
but yeah, sure.
A little deeper.
Yeah.
Biden was so tightly aligned, as were the Clintons, as were the Obamas, with Ukraine, that was their little fiefdom. If you read that article I sent you all, that was their little fiefdom. That was their personal banking account. More money was donated to the Clinton Foundation.
Yes, absolutely.
From the government of Ukraine because of the millions of dollars that the U.S. had going in aid. Okay. This was a way for them to take back some of that money and to their own personal gain. Okay, then Biden got in the middle of it, and he was just sloppy and stupid. So
bull in a china shop.
So how does if Hillary would have been elected, no harm, no foul. Ukraine just, hey, we just keep everything going, and they keep pumping money into our pockets and all is good. The Kerrys as well. Hillary's doesn't get elected. So what happens now? Oh my God, let's hang Biden out there, make him the scapegoat. We can, number one, get him out of the race because we don't think he's going to be the right guy. He's not going to protect our interest.
Yeah, but that leaves them with Warren or Sanders. I mean, and that's a bigger issue.
Or Bloomberg.
Or Hillary or Michelle.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it was a double attempt to take Trump down.
There is the boy who would be king.
To take Buttigieg, who just announced this morning, by the way, breaking news, that he will provide free college tuition. Did you hear this? Free college to anybody out there that is making less than $100,000 a year. And who's going to pay for it? The top 1%. The top 1% is getting drilled by every candidate.
Going to be the low 99%.
I'll tell you what, if you want free college, once a year, we should have a massive beer pong contest. And the top 5 people that win beer pong get free college.
You want free college?
I mean, was that absurd? But the
college?
People look at me like, "Where did you go with that?"
What about the wine lovers?
How about? I mean, but I'm saying free college.
You want free college? Seriously? Go serve your country for 2 years. You come out with the GI Bill, and you'll get free college. And you'll probably learn a discipline that you will never forget the rest of your life.
Okay. Well, obviously you can't sell magazines door to door anymore. That ship has sailed, right? Would you like to buy a subscription to Boy's Life?
Oh boy.
Or Blue Boy?
No, Boy's Life. That's the guy. That's the guy.
I don't think I've ever read Blue Boy.
Okay, stop. Stop now. Get it under control. You were very serious with Ukraine and Biden, and you left the rails. Look at you.
No.
And Mayor Pete also had something for child care, too, right?
Well, yeah.
The $1 trillion package.
Well, he's trying to compete with Kamala Harris, who threw out the 12 hours of school.
Oh, 3 more hours, yeah.
12 hours of school, and this is not for education. This is so that the schools can babysit your kids because you've got to work because they don't have any...
Don't get me on give them to the government day. You got it? We need.
They already have given them to the government.
Don't get me on that.
You see all those red brick buildings out there?
I got it. Give them to the government.
Those are the concentration camps of education.
I got it. Don't get me started. Let's go back. So, do you not think if they take Biden down, then they could do the it's Trump's fault? Because the media has exonerated Biden and his son. They when you watch their reports concerning Burisma and Hunter, and they always end them, but nothing was legally, there was no legal, do you understand what I'm saying?
As I'm doing some homework just
So
refresh
everything you said is not being reported.
No.
When I say that, we're talking about it. You know, Tucker Carlson's talking about it. Rush will talk about it at noon. Mark Levin, Laura Ingraham, the list goes on. Good people.
And that approach, I mean, nothing legally was proved, or there
Right,
were no
but
facts.
that's where they
doesn't
broke.
work for Trump, because it is exactly the boat he's in.
No.
What he's saying about Russia and all this other stuff. Nothing's been proven. He's the
Who is-
transcripts out there, and it doesn't apply to him.
Who is Snopes owned by again?
I know, if you wouldn't ask me, but they're a liberal group.
Is it
Soros?
Google?
Open Foundation, the Open.
Anyway, you go to Snopes and you just type in Biden's son. The first thing it says is false, and the first sentence it says is nothing has been proven to show that he was on the take. Basically, I mean they go right to the heart of it.
And nothing's been proven that Trump is a Russian agent.
Yeah.
Does he get any?
Or Tulsi Gabbard is a Russian agent, or
So-
a useless idiot. Anyway, we covered a lot of ground in that last 3 minutes.
So, you think Biden will not win the nomination?
I have no doubt in my mind that he will not. That he will.
Okay. Do you think it's
Double-
media
no
hype?
double negatives.
No, let's go with that. Do you think it's media hype that Buttigieg is going to win Iowa, or looks like it? Is it media hype that Sanders and Warren are going to compete very neck and neck in New Hampshire, and that all the black voters in South Carolina can't wait for Joe Biden to get there? What if the top three goes 1, 2, 3, Buttigieg, Warren, or Sanders? I think maybe Warren in New Hampshire, and then Biden in South Carolina. Where does this thing end up?
I think the bellwether.
That's
for
when the
Biden
door
is-
opens and someone steps in.
The bellwether for Biden is in South Carolina. I don't think he's even focusing on Iowa because he knows he doesn't have a shot.
Or New Hampshire. But I don't think Buttigieg will win. I think Warren will win.
Hey, Buttigieg, the gay brigade's got a lot of money out there.
There's not too many gay Iowa farmers.
It don't matter. They got a lot of money. They got
Come
a
here,
lot
Bessie.
of money.
Oh, yeah, good night.
Jane, where are you?
We need some balance here.
No, he's got a lot of money. A lot of money.
balance.
A lot of money, and Iowa's a caucus. And without-
90 days, huh?
Right.
About 90 days.
So Iowa's a caucus. He's got a lot of money, and they are Democrats. So we will see. Now, Warren has decided to let us know that she's going to take trillions of dollars.
I just...
Did I almost leave you speechless there? Are you
Well,
like...
we talked about this on the show in your absence, that all these things are talking points that are never in a million years going to happen.
They can't.
Yeah, I mean, they're just talking points to the base for the Democrats.
There's all of these
Green New Deal, Medicare for all, child care for everybody.
Why they're even trying to apply a number to these things just baffles me. Why go through the exercise? The Green New Deal cannot physically happen if you had all the money in the world to implement it.
And
It
we
still
don't.
can't happen. You cannot get rid of fossil fuels in one fell swoop.
No way.
You know, what happens to the industry worldwide? What happens to the coal miners, to
All the refinery workers, all the people who drive trucks with fuel, all the
the airline
service
industry?
stations.
The airline industry.
What are all those people going to do?
Rail.
They're not going to go to school for coding. It's just not going to happen.
You know what they're saying?
Go ahead.
They're saying that the rail is electric powered. You know what? That's absolutely true. Because the locomotives are powered by electric engines.
Electric turbine.
But where do they get their power? They get it from a diesel motor sitting in the same chassis that's developing the power for the electricity to go to the wheels. They just,
Diesel-powered turbines that create electricity to go to electric motors.
yeah.
GM, Electromotive Division,
Yeah.
EMD. They
That's
make
how
all of
every
them.
train in the country is being driven now. But they say, oh, well, no worries about trains, they're electric.
Well, I mean, you have some local trolleys.
Those are
and
the
things
ones
like
you
that.
get for Christmas.
Exactly.
You do have some
The
local-
American Flyer and the
Exactly.
Lionel.
Lionel.
Yeah, yeah.
So don't go too fast around that turn.
No, it'll come off for
Off
sure.
the tracks for sure, right?
Let's see what
Exactly.
So
33 gauge and
and then the Medicare for all is not going to work. It can't work.
no, all those insurance company employees and everybody in that pipeline are not going to just overnight start working for the government. It's not going to work like that.
What say you? As
Because
far as,
it's not. The transition will be way worse than Obamacare, but it's not going to happen. So why are we spending time on it?
The big fight within the purist community about the Medicare for all and Medicare as it currently exists is that they say, oh, what we have now is single payer. Well, that's totally partially true. Yes, it is single payer, and it is paid by the government, but it's not universal health care because only one segment of the population currently has Medicare, which is 65 and over. And oh, by the way, there's other forms of that Medicare. There's Advantage, there's the supplemental. You know, it's just so different than the model that they're trying to push on the American public.
Yeah, they're talking Medicaid for all.
Yeah, they're basically talking Medicaid for all.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, which means that a lot of the services won't get covered. Dental, vision, none of those services will get covered.
Yeah.
It'll be just like Canada.
Yeah.
it'll be a card for a cold and a broken bone. If you got if you got the flu, if you got a cold, if you do have a broken bone, you get the cast. It'll be you know, it's like the oil change. Hey, I just want the $39.95. I don't want the $69.95 and the other 14-point checkup.
Well, you know, you need to go to waiting room C. That's for the $39.95.
Yeah,
we're waiting room A. You go to C.
Right.
That's what it's going to be.
Were you on the trip where we met those two ladies from Canada? And we asked them about their health care?
No.
I think we've talked about this.
Yes.
We went on a cruise, and there were two ladies that joined us for trivia one night, and they were from Canada, and I said to them, where do y'all live? We live in Vancouver. Oh.
It was your Alaska cruise.
Great city, yeah. No, it was actually, regardless. And I said, tell me about your health care. Well, what do you want to know? Sorry.
No problem.
I said, what do you want to know? And I said, does it work? Yeah, it works if you've got a cold or if you've got debilitating cancer. But anything in the middle, get in line. I said, you mean
then
like
we go to the U.S.
He said, like, you mean like a knee replacement? She said, I've been waiting for a knee replacement for 9 months. She said, some days I can barely walk. I'm in line. I said, enough said. Gotcha. Understood.
Hey, folks, we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, you know, Senator John Kennedy said it must suck to be that dumb. But that's the only part of their playing of that clip, and we're going to talk about that rally down in Louisiana. We're going to switch gears, talk about the election in Kentucky, Virginia, and what the media is trying to make out of it when we return. Take us a break, Lenny.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
8 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. It is so good to be here this morning. I'm 2 weeks in a row.
You still working on Halloween candy?
Yeah, I'm still working on Halloween.
What were you for
Get
Halloween?
your mitts off my Halloween
candy. Oh, I didn't
candy.
touch the candy.
Well, you went close.
I did. I got close.
Do I touch your tab?
No, sir. You wouldn't touch my tab. You just don't like tab.
Oh, by the way, we know each other here. This is Bruce, Rick. Jane is traveling, and we're the all-star political panel. Having a great time in Blue Ridge this morning at Circle World. Guys, okay, where do I want to go? Let's go elections. So, no, let's go with
past elections.
No. Yes, but let's go with John Kennedy in Louisiana. First of all, he was in Monroe, Louisiana. Monroe,
home of the Robertson family.
Home of the Robertson family. Phil
I heard
and Willie.
you on the TV the other day saying that. It's Monroe.
M-U-N-R.
Now there's two of you.
Monroe.
Monroe, Louisiana.
Well, we have to.
Anyway.
Hey, we got sights and
It was
sounds
a
in the
heck
city.
of a rally.
Well, do I have it wrong when I say Slidell, Louisiana, or is that
Slidell's fine.
Good, I'm good with that. Okay.
What arena were they in? Do you know? Are you familiar with that part of of your former state?
I don't know what arena they were in.
Did you ever see how big it was? Or
no, but it looked like the local civic center with the the 2,900. I mean, could you pronounce the word for where was
Monroe.
it? Monroe. Louisiana is not big, but it's not little. It's got a couple things going on.
Yeah, there's
there.
one of the universities there, Northwestern State, or
so they got a couple places that pack out, but it looked like the local place that you can get 6,000. I don't know, but
it was not Rupp Arena. Let's put it that way.
But it was to the roof. Everything was packed.
Did your Rupp Arena, like some of the networks said, there were 3,000 people there?
Seriously?
3,000.
That holds 23,000.
Yeah.
So
And it
Kennedy,
was full.
Just saying.
Sorry.
Kennedy comes out and look, folks. This is and this is directly to you, Joe Scarborough. You know how I feel about you. If you don't by now, you're not reading your tweets. Anyhow, they're on there this morning, and he's saying that if you have a little boy in America, you should look at what Senator Kennedy said the other night, and you should have to a little girl. And if your little boy said this to a little girl, you should make your little boy go over and knock on the door and apologize to the little girl. The reference to Nancy Pelosi, right? They left everything around that out, and we in America, I think we're tired of it because we know what taken out of context means.
Yeah.
So Kennedy started that, if you listen to the whole thing, talking about the impeachment and how it's just, they're trying to impeach our president. Then he says, no disrespect, but I'd hate to be that damn dumb or something, right?
It sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
It sucks to be that
It must be that dumb.
All right.
It must suck to be that dumb.
Yeah.
Now, that was not a direct, although he's talking about Nancy Pelosi, but that wasn't a direct shot at Nancy. It was a direct shot at taking just this whole impeachment thing. You guys got to be that damn. If you listen to the front of it and the back of it, although it is Nancy Pelosi, he says, no.
With all due respect,
you guys are that dumb to try to pull this off on the American. You understand what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
But no, all they are, and there's too dumb. We all do dumb things, and you can't be that damn dumb. There's a difference. We do something dumb. And then there's you can't be that damn dumb, and that's what they are. They're that damn dumb.
I tell you,
I don't know. Am I making any sense? Help me out here.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
time.
Yeah, I mean, but they'll take that.
Right.
The MSNBC and CNN, their whole world lives for sound bites.
Yes.
All they want to do is get a sound bite. That's exactly why the president now stands by a rotor blade and does the press conferences instead of letting these nimrods sit in the press room, get camera shots, and then try to get a sound bite to play on the 6 o'clock news so they can look like
they cut that press room right out. That was
exactly.
And they overtalk each other. They're all screaming out stuff, and one guy's got to get his question in, and they're rude to each other.
But the one thing you notice is not one person gets one bit of FaceTime other than Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Not one person.
I got it. And they wanted the cameras in that little press room
for their
and
sound
they wanted
bites.
A press secretary there every day to go up and make it. Now the thing is like, they tried to float it. Now I don't want to say they're backing away, but they're not running with it on the front page. They did 2 days ago that Trump called William Barr, the Attorney General, and asked him to hold a press conference to exonerate him on the phone call. And that's in the category as Trump's not that damn dumb. The Washington Post came out with that story, right? That man's not that damn dumb.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It was a source, unnamed source.
They all are.
On the Washington Post that Trump called William Barr, and what they're trying to do is create a divide between Barr
and Trump.
Because it's getting ready to hit the fan.
The proverbial fan.
Right.
But going back to Pelosi, I think the Wicked Witch of the House, gets up every morning and looks on the mirror.
How
and
long
says,
did you work on that one?
Oh, about 10 minutes.
Okay, I wonder.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most strategic of all? I think I've shot myself in the foot. I think this is blowing up.
Going back to the Wicked Witch in the House, I love it. Go ahead.
But yeah, I think she realizes now she's overstepped this.
She's way over her skis,
and she's deep in doo doo. So,
and guess who caused that? She kowtowed, if that's a word, I think it is, to the Quad.
Mm-hmm.
She let the Quad dictate policy, and she felt so much pressure that she had to get this impeachment thing going. And now I think she's just back on her heels going, what did I rot?
Yeah, and we talked about that a little bit, that she put Schiff in control, and he's coming out as an out-and-out liar who nobody has any faith in.
I'm okay with...
Big mistake.
I'm okay with, let's just say if I was running the newsroom.
Which network?
It's irrelevant. I'm okay with, them... I know what they're doing with Taylor, so don't take this wrong. Let me see how I frame. I'm okay with them putting a team to research Bill Taylor, a team to research, but I would have somebody research every name on the cast.
You use the word research. Is that journalism or opposition research? What are we talking about?
Journalism. I would research everybody on the cast. So if I was running the network, I may come out and say something that Bill Taylor did say something of this that is concerning, but at the same time, the attorney representing the whistleblower has sent out these text messages. I mean, you got to do the whole story, and they just totally do not do the whole story. They do not do the story, and that's concerning because, okay, as a constitutionalist, and we yell, and I have reporters. Yesterday afternoon, our company has reporters, and yesterday afternoon I read an article from a young lady in another county concerning somebody that's going to run for office. I thought it was very good, and I liked it. We do that every day, so I do not want the First Amendment, and I don't want them coming and rounding up journalists. But somehow we're going to have to define journalist and the enemy of the state.
Well, Cindy said
they've morphed into each other. I mean, you can't tell.
I'm not joking. I think Chuck Todd I think they should round old Chuck up.
F. Chuck Todd.
Yes, I think there's a list. I mean, I don't know if you ever watched this communist Margaret Brennan on Sunday mornings.
Oh my goodness!
My God! I mean, it's just like there should be laws against.
She's angry.
Not lying to the American people, then we'd have no politicians. Let me see how to frame this. There should be something where you cannot do what they do. I don't know. Help me out here.
Schiff, case in point. I mean, look at the trail of tears that he's left behind in the form of lies.
Yeah, but I mean, other reporters, Lawrence Fowler, that guy. I mean, he's a loser. Jessica Tarloff. I mean, Juan Williams.
Juan Williams.
Oh my
if
gosh.
we put Schiff in jail today, the media we're talking about would run the stories on how now Trump is starting to jail his silence
opposition.
the voice of the opposition.
Yeah, Amendment.
However,
First Amendment.
Talk about silencing the voice. The GOPs want to move Jim Jordan over to Schiff's committee. And Nancy Pelosi said, if they try, I will veto that move.
Yeah.
Who's trying to silence whom now?
And we all know why they're afraid for it to go, because once all these committees write up their evidence, where do they send it? They send it to judiciary, because judiciary is in charge of creating the articles of
That's
impeachment.
Nadler.
Right, and we all know why they don't want to send it to Nadler.
Yeah.
Because Collins is sitting there just waiting. He's like.
So they're moving
right.
Schiff over. I mean, they're moving Jordan over there. They got
Absolutely.
Collins there.
Yes.
So let's move Jordan to the other side so he can be the bulldog.
But I'm telling you, that's why they're like, okay, when we go to. And what is Doug Collins said straight out of the box? Congressman Collins, his first witness needs to be Adam Schiff.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Joe.
And the next one needs to be the whistleblower.
But Adam Schiff supposedly this morning is coming out with the rules for Republicans and their witnesses and things like that. So they have to prove to him that any of the witnesses they want to bring are relevant. Now, how wide a word is that? I mean, for, a liar like Schiff.
I just don't understand how he gets to be king for the day.
Well, their one problem is we're starting to find these things out. And when I say this, Yovanovitch, former ambassador that Trump called back and said, hey, you need to come home. We're finding these things out, like the spy. We find out who the spy is. The attorney for the spy. The spy went to a friend of Adam Schiff's, because you're never going to connect that the spy, Ciaramella, went directly to Adam Schiff. All politicians have a buffer. So so he was sent to somebody.
A staffer.
They say the Schiff staff.
Right. And then Schiff came in, and they came in and they showed him what to do. But the point is, we are finding all this out through some good research. We're finding every bit of this out, but by not NBC, not ABC, not CBS.
Well, it gets back to, again, I think the American public's perception and definition of journalism has gotten so watered down and diluted that they don't know up from down anymore.
It's funny.
It's crazy.
It's funny you say that, because we were watching The Five last night, and Sidney said to me, does Juan call himself a journalist or an opinion spokesman? I said, he calls himself a journalist.
Yeah.
When in fact he really isn't.
No.
Well, Juan's on there.
I understand his role.
He's like the washing machine. He's like the agitator in the washing machine.
Exactly.
He used to be Beckel.
Yeah, on
they
there.
have to have.
I miss Bob Beckel.
What's happened to him?
I don't know, but he was my favorite liberal at 5 o'clock. Bob Beckel. I used to.
Well, he shot himself in the foot.
More than once.
Did.
More than once.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave him a lot of rope, and
They did. Okay.
Yeah, but
Switch gears. Are things starting to crack in the media? Now, I will tell you, Project Veritas has done a good job, and I think the media should be in fear. Let me tell you a fear that they need to have. A healthy fear is because when you watch the Project Veritas reports, at the end, they give phone number, email address, and they even say something to the effect of, if you're inside one of these organizations and you're ready to talk, come to us, right? So I think these networks have a fear. I think they're looking for their internal spies now. Like the White House has these internals, the deep state. I think you CNN, NBC, what happened after CNN and ABC? I think CNN, ABC, NBC, they're looking at this one, and they're looking at this one, and they're looking at this one, wondering who could. I think they're scared to death. This ABC, and where I'm going with that, if you did not see this ABC, what's her name? Roebuck, right?
Amy Roebuck.
Amy Roebuck. Did you listen to that hot
I
mic?
absolutely
How do you cover that up and change it?
Right. Let me ask you
and the
guys.
staffer that leaked that got fired.
Yes.
That they spiked that story.
He got. You telling me he didn't have whistleblower protection?
Let me ask you guys this. Recalling what she said, just think about what she said. We had them dead to rights. We had Epstein.
The Clintons.
We had the Clintons. Let me ask you, if they had it then, why don't they have it now? And if they do have it now, why aren't they bringing it out? Regardless of whether Epstein's dead or not.
Well, you heard
it's like the tape they had on Trump, from 10 years ago.
Well, you remember the accusation she made
and they
about
were just
the palace?
on it.
Yeah. Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
They were afraid that they were going to be denied access to the palace. That's what the big deal was. Disney was scared to be outed.
Yeah, and you think an entertainment company really shouldn't be, running a hard.
We're talking about Jeffrey Epstein. Now, remember, let's put this all in the box together, because I did it a couple times this week. Remember, I'll use the gospel reference. You remember back when Dr. Bodden said something, we took it as the gospel? Remember that? We all tuned in. Remember the day when he was considered an expert? Remember the old days when he was an expert?
Yeah.
Considered an expert?
Yeah.
Or anything.
How many times?
Or anything that came in, no matter the network. They brought in Dr. Bodden and asked him his opinion and they put on the little byline on the bottom, expert, right?
Yeah, expert.
Forensic pathologist.
Yes, forensic pathologist. I like that, right?
Yep.
What happened?
What happened
now
this time?
Now he says, I'm not seeing suicide, and it's not adding up.
I think they painted him as an aged-out guy, like he's getting doddering and like he doesn't know his facts from his fiction.
I think you're right, Bruce. I think they're trying to. His cognitive functions are concerned,
in decline.
Right?
Wasn't he the one that was rushed out there in the alleged Sandy Hook massacre?
I don't know if
he has been.
He was famous for the OJ thing.
Oh, OJ definitely.
Yeah.
Well, he was brought in for. He's been brought in for a lot of stories, and the list goes on. And I don't remember all of them, but what I guess he said in a bombshell statement on Fox that Jeffrey Epstein's autopsy resembled a homicide, not a suicide. Right?
Yeah.
None of the DNA was checked.
We have a federal prison with a high-profile prisoner that all the cameras went out and everybody took a nap.
What was it that Dr. Tittman said when he was walking out? He said he referred to Epstein as a
sociopath.
A sociopath.
Yeah.
Which means to a doctor that if you're a sociopath, nothing affects you. You're not going to be committing suicide.
Yeah.
You have absolutely...
You're not a take-your-life kind of guy.
Yeah. I mean, that's just absolutely,
yeah,
locked in stone. That was from a medical doctor's perspective.
Well, and let's say, and then we have the ABC. We have the ABC account with Robach, where she's like, that's what she said. You know how pissed I am right now?
Yeah.
I had this story.
Yeah.
I had the Clintons.
I had her exact words. I had him dead to rights.
Yes. And do you think he was murdered or whatever? However it was, 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And do you remember? I can't replay it. I read it. Is it 2 days ago? What was ABC's response and her response? How did they cover that up?
It wasn't consistent with our
journalistic principles.
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't consistent with our journalistic principles. And oh, by the way,
I wonder when she's going to turn up smelling roses.
We have the facts.
By the way, Seth Rich is still dead.
Oh, Seth Rich is still dead. By the way, we throw that in every once in a while. We have the facts. NBC with the Weinstein was covered up, right, Harvey? That was covered up, right? Mm-hmm. Have the facts. They covered that story, right?
Yep.
Have the facts. I'm going to call them the facts because when somebody says it out of their own mouth and they work there, we have the facts that we got video on Amy, right? Yeah. That ABC covered up this pedophile, right? This disgusting.
Yeah, years.
Yes, years of it.
Yep.
And what took place down there at the pedophile island. Have the facts on that. We have CNN, what happened on CNN with, what is the president's name of CNN? Who is president of
Jeff Zucker?
Jeff Zucker. We have, remember that call, the news call?
Yeah.
Okay, why would anybody, and I'm going to tell you this, why would you watch ABC, CBS, NBC,
or their sister companies,
CNN, MSNBC, why would you watch any of them and accept anything they tell you?
It's exactly what Tittman said when he left.
How do you do that?
Those two sound bites that I got from Ray today, I mean, is exactly, I believe, what everybody's thinking.
But there's somebody out there saying, oh, over on MSNBC, there's that one guy. I really like that one guy. Okay, all right, I'm not saying. Oh, I do have one reason to watch CNN. I don't want to bring that back up. There's only one reason. What?
Nothing.
But I mean,
something easy on the eyes over there?
No, that's you. That's him. He's saying that. I did not say that.
And what's your reason?
I think she delivers a good report. Anyhow. But we all have that person that on the network, I like this guy, I like that guy, or this lady or that lady, obviously. But the whole networks themselves are, and I'm going to tell you, Fox. I'm not 100%. I'm only like 62.8% with Fox, and that's getting close. I'm not.
Yeah, you can tell the influence of those kids.
Yeah,
the kids are running it, and their wives are like, big, strong Hillary supporters.
Sir. Now,
and you can see
Tucker,
the direction. It's incremental, but it's moving.
Do you think we're close to Tucker and Sean being gone and Lauren Ingram.
I think they're going to form their own network, and I think they're going to bring Bill O'Reilly back, and possibly Eric Bowling.
I'll send my tape in.
Going just real quickly, going back to what frustrates you and the Epstein thing. It is so easy then to swing around the corner and go back to the Clintons and look at their donor list when they were trying to become transparent with their Clinton Foundation, when it was evident that Secretary of State job was going to land on Hillary's head. And what's the first one they pointed out as one of the biggest donors coming out of a Canadian bank? Jeffrey Epstein. If people don't sit and connect those dots.
Don't get this wrong. I say this a lot, but I can't back away from things I want to say that I just know are true. Don't take this wrong. Fox started out, and I don't know that it's a short plan. I know Roger Ailes, I know what happened, but Fox started out with your generation turning it on, maybe not you guys, turning it on and not turning it off. Senior citizens in this country turn Fox on in the morning and they turn it off when they go to bed. And they play it to a fault, and it's in the background. Even if they go in, no, Mom and Dad, not trying to upset you, but I hear the button when I'm up there, and I hear Steve Ducey's voice sometime in the morning, and I hear it go off after Sean says, bombshell report. Okay.
Or after Laura said, and that's my angle.
Right, and that's my angle, right? So
great show as usual.
So they put that, and I love it. And I was like, Mom, what are you getting ready to do? I got to watch Sean. And she says it sarcastically because, Sean's got breaking news. And he opens with breaking news, and I watch for an hour, and he never gets to it. But that being said, now Fox is moved in a direction, and you need to turn that thing off, and that's my opinion. I did not say turn Fox off.
I'm a part-time turner-offer. There's a lot of stuff that I will not watch.
Recently. You used to not.
That's not true.
You can surf. You can go over to
That's not true.
You can go over to NPR or something. What's really good.
But you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I go to Fox Business a lot. I mean, some of the people on Fox Business are more interesting than the
You just said exactly some of the people. I want to take a break. I want to come back, and I want to go right into elections, okay? I got to it. We got to go into elections. Okay. We've talked about Epstein. We've talked about this corruption, that corruption. We want to take a quick break, and I want to come back and talk about elections. Take us a break, Lonnie.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Circuit World has complete queen bedroom packages at amazing prices. Get this queen bed, dresser and mirror, 1 nightstand, bedding set, and free 32-inch TV, all for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this complete queen bedroom set and sleep in style, also for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. What an incredible deal. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
I'm Jeff Riblett, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from beautiful Circuit World here in Blue Ridge. Guys, I want to go right into elections. I wanted to change the gear for a reason. Recently, and this is something that, I get the megaphone out. I try to yell it. Recently, I was up in Pennsylvania this past Tuesday at an election, and I worked a poll. I worked a poll where...
you were a poll watcher?
No, I worked asking somebody, hey, vote for this candidate, vote for this candidate, which my brother was running for an office. And they had these two ladies out there in the morning, and they were with, and this is a big poll in Pennsylvania, they were with PA Fair Vote. Okay. Whatever, PAFairVote.com or whatever. And they cannot, when you're doing petitions, now this is the law in the state of Pennsylvania, they cannot ask you questions before you go in to vote. But when you come out, they can ask you if you want to sign their petition.
Exit polling.
Right. No, that's not polling.
Exit petitioning.
Right. But anyhow, so when they come out, under the guise of fair elections and your vote counts, they ask somebody, do you know what gerrymandering is? Do you know what that's at? We're PA Fair Vote, okay? And all we want, and I keep seeing these people come out, right, with Trump hats. And they go over there, and these ladies are like, now on their flyer, you see no affiliations. It looks like an organization that just wants to make sure you got your vote counted today and you're represented, and somebody didn't come in and swoop your district away for gerrymandering. It all sounds very good.
A neutral public service.
It sounds great. They say nonpartisan in their spiel. We're a nonpartisan organization. They got little signs. I watched Trump voters all day sign up, unsuspecting, and unsuspecting, right? And I watched them sign up all day. So when there would be a break in the polls and voters were not coming in, I said to one of them early on, I said, now, how do you get paid? Okay, because how they get paid so much for their time, and then so much per signature. Their bonuses.
This is the PA Fair Vote.
Right, okay. Right. is in the signature. In the signature side is how they get paid. All right? Oh, yeah. But that angered them. They didn't want to talk about that. Okay? And I said, but you're not volunteers. They didn't want to talk. Now, let me fast forward because we don't have a lot of time. They are, if you go, you cannot find anything related, but they are affiliated with Common Cause. And everybody in America should go look up who Common Cause is. I showed on the show the other day. PA Fair, they're a part of Common Cause. Georgia has Common Cause. Okay? And it is George Soros, the Open Society Foundation. It's George Soros. And if you look at the Common Cause emblem, it looks a little bit like Barack Obama's old emblem switched around a little bit. Then you have the National Redistricting, NDRC or something like that.
Don't know.
All right. And they've had a plan. The Democrats have flat had a plan to take back state houses, to take back the governor's mansion for a while. And I tell the Republicans this not to upset them. Democrats are better at long game. Whether you get mad or not, they are better at long game. They stick together. Republicans don't have long game plans, things like that. Now, fast forward, PA Fair, Pennsylvania, in redistricting that a court upheld, lost about 6 congressional seats. Okay, what happened in Virginia? Go read the article. Judge ruled for the new lines, okay? Judge ruled for new lines for state, House, and Senate representatives of Virginia, right? It's never reported. What was reported Tuesday was Trump's losing in the suburbs of Virginia. Women don't like him anymore. Look at what's happening. The impeachment inquiry is playing its toll. Nowhere did this corrupt media report that Virginia has redrawn the lines in favor of Democrats, right?
Absolutely.
It's not getting reported. So, I mean...
That didn't happen overnight. I mean, that's been going on and going on and going on, and people need to understand that the people that are inside the Beltway, that work inside the Beltway, that's where they live. In Northern Virginia.
Now let's flip over to Kentucky. Bevin, okay, obviously very unpopular because he went up against the teachers' unions, okay? He touched the third rail in pensions. Look at what happened to Chris Christie in his second term, or almost lost his second term in New Jersey when he touched that third rail. Bevin's a little bold in some of the ways he says things, may turn somebody off. I don't know.
He's just a bad candidate.
Right?
Yeah, abrasive, some would say.
I just thought he was a bad candidate.
But what did the media do? They made it look like Trump came in Monday night or whatever it was, or Thursday before, and couldn't save Bevin. And it was all a result in Kentucky of they rushed to suburbs. Oh, my God, he's losing in the suburbs.
College-educated women.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you hear anywhere on any media... Is it Bashar? Is that his name? I'm doing it off the top of my head. Andy Bashar?
Yeah, something like that. That's close,
yeah. The guy that is the projected winner. Did you watch any media that actually told you that the Bashar family is a political machine in Kentucky? Did anybody say that? Or was all the media how Trump could not win Kentucky?
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
That would be like the Daily Machine in Chicago in years past.
Right.
It's the same thing.
It's like the ogre against us.
So the Bashar family, if I have it correct, I think his dad's name's Steve. Bevin beat his dad, and it really ticked that machine off. Yeah, see, Bevin beat Steve, Andy's dad. Now, Andy's dad, I think, is Steve Bashar in Kentucky. Born in Kentucky, first job was a state representative. He went from state representative. He was attorney general of the state. He was lieutenant governor. He then went to lieutenant governor of the state. Then he went to governor for like 2 or 3 terms. This guy has been a household name, Bashar name, in Kentucky since 1950.
One of those long-term employees of the government who doesn't know anything else.
And
exactly
right
entitled.
So the Bashars had one They didn't have to put a political machine together. They did not have to put a network together. They did not have to worry about would the corrupt money from the Democrats come in. It was all set up. He was ready to go. His name's Andy Burchard. I think that's his name. He's the projected winner, and it's not a big collapse for Donald Trump in Kentucky. It's not unusual for the people in Kentucky to go pull a lever for the name Burchard. But
And
did you
do you
get
think-
that anywhere outside of here?
No, the other thing you didn't hear is that the next 5 candidates down in pecking order were all won by Republicans. And they had the first black AG in the history of the state.
Yep.
And the second thing for elections, no, you're right. I don't want to gloss
And there was
over
a
that.
libertarian candidate who supposedly siphoned away votes.
Thank you,
That
Bruce.
is true.
But thank you.
28,000 votes, I believe.
28,000. Bevin is losing at this time because nobody's conceded and it hasn't been certified in the state yet. But he's losing at this time by what, 5,000 votes, right?
Yep.
Have you seen any of the networks put that third candidate on the screen with 28,000 votes? Now, I want to ask this quick question. We got to go, but I could not get out of elections, and I got one more thing on that. I want to ask you this. Libertarian candidates, okay, how are you on these candidates being the spoiler, or, hey, that's just how it goes, that's our system?
You just never know, election to election. And sometimes they do very well, other times they're flameouts.
Yeah, it works both ways, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worked against Democrats in the past.
Right.
Yep.
I don't think it's one-sided by any means.
And I tell you what, tell them, Rick, tell them, because I want to see if you've been paying attention.
Uh-oh.
Okay? I'm like Dr. Whaley.
Yeah.
Honey. No.
Yeah.
Rick, why, in Kentucky the other night, why did Mitch McConnell run up on that stage with Donald Trump to stand next to him?
Well, because he's got a serious challenge candidate.
Absolutely.
I think she is a Navy pilot.
Former Lieutenant Colonel Amy McGrath, right?
Exactly.
That's what keeps
On his
Mitch up
toes.
at night.
That's what keeps
Yes, sir.
the turtle with his head in the shell.
But I will give him credit. I will give him credit. 2 more judges. More judges?
Yeah, he's moving judges.
Got to go. Winners and losers, Bruce. I just had to get that election stuff in because I am so tired of it getting turned around like Trump's losing the
Okay,
suburbs.
my home run.
Home run.
Don Trump Jr. going on The View and
Oh, yeah.
giving them some of their own medicine. It was great.
Okay.
Ruptured Joey
Airball.
Behar.
My brother-in-law and sister-in-law were in this week. Living in a suburb of Chicago. Illinois taxes. They just got jacked this year on taxes. There's just a couple of things to, let people know they shouldn't stay in Illinois. Gas tax went from 19 cents a gallon to 38, a double. Cigarettes, which I don't care that much about, but went up $1.98 to $2.98. Parking. There's 6% excise tax on daily, weekly, hourly rates, 9% on monthly. And here's the really funny one. Chicago's had a amusement tax, which has been put on streaming and things like that. Well, they expanded it to the state, 9%. So on your Netflix, sports tickets, going to concerts, 9%, baby.
That was a loser?
Yeah.
And not to double down on that, but a lot of stuff.
Oh, Don Trump Jr.
A lot of stuff that you read like that does have bearing on when professional athletes want to go play somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It really
Absolutely.
does. They're multimillionaires, and they bring their accountant.
Yeah,
and
they bring
say,
the accountant.
What
Say,
will it cost me?
Yeah,
to
do
dribble,
I go here or do I go
what
here?
will it cost me to dribble a basketball in Chicago or
And how
Phoenix,
quick can I get it in and out?
Right.
Because it's based on
Go
time.
ahead.
I got 2 winners. Donald Trump is my winner because it's the first sitting president that will attend the Veterans Day Parade in New York City. Secondly, my co-winner is Rand Paul for being the only one with enough guts to stand up to the Senate and saying, you will not pass that whistleblower. And it required 100 senators to say yes. He said no. It went in the tank. My loser goes back to Illinois. My loser is Eddie, the Johnson superintendent of police. At 60 years old, retired. And I think this was the same guy they found slumped over the wheel of his car, asleep, half in the bag, never even gave him a breathalyzer. He said he decided that he really wasn't fit for the job, and it was undoing his health when he was on a boondoggle to London, paid for by someone else, to go see the Bears play an NFL game. He's my loser of the week.
We got a winner and loser. Thank you, guys. My winner this week, I'll do the winner last. My loser this week are anticipating new voting machines as my loser. And I want to tell you why. Because I had an opportunity, because we heard about Russian influence into our election and the integrity of our election, and on and on and on, and voter suppression and one thing after another. So what did we do? Check out, just take your time, do the research of how many states, okay, succumb to the criticism of our election system, and we have new machines, and we have scanners, and we have paper ballots, and we have everything. Georgia, many. Just do the research. So I got an opportunity to see a pretty good size election with new voting machines that have screen, paper, scan, and that would be in Pennsylvania. First of all, the voting machines to me are a deterrent for senior citizens to vote. I worked a poll with over so many thousand voters coming through. And I asked them as they come out, hey, how did you like the new machines, just randomly? Senior citizens didn't like them. Took too long. Didn't understand them, okay? One lady looked at me and said, I couldn't figure it out, and this was her quote, I couldn't figure it out, so I had to get somebody, and they come in there, and now, damn it, they know my vote, and it's supposed to be private. That's a quote. I said, okay, I get it. But anyhow, then, it was taking over 30 minutes, and this is in Pennsylvania, it was taking over 30 minutes to cast a vote. Over 30 minutes to cast their vote because of the new machines. Second, I want to welcome you to say Pennsylvania voting machines, Morning Call, there's several articles, they have not certified the election in Northampton County yet, because the person that certifies the election will not sign the paperwork because of the inaccuracies in the voting machine. Happens to be my sister. She won't sign the paper. Holy mackerel. But I would welcome you to go to the Morning Call and start reading all of the things that went wrong with their voting machine. And the great thing about Pennsylvania, when they realized they had a voting machine issue throughout the county, they called a team in from Philadelphia to look it over. I am in fear of 2020 and what we have done. So that's my loser, all right?
Are the voting machines U.S. made?
I don't know. Leave it to Bruce to ask those little details. Now, quickly, the winner of the week, my brother Jerry. Jerry, you did a great job. You ran for Lehigh Township Supervisor. You never ran for an office in your life. You never campaigned for anything. There was approximately 2,500 votes, and you lost by 100 votes. So, but you know what? I worked the poll all day, and I would come up, and I do not endorse candidates, and I was happy to be able to do this one. And people would come up, and I'd have a card, and I'd say, please consider my brother for township supervisor. If I'll admit I'm his brother, you should vote for him. You don't know, I said that a couple times. But anyhow, I would say, hey, would you consider, and I had people say to me, you know what, he came to my house at 10 o'clock at night, knocked on the door. I said, who is this? He come in, he's exhausted. He wanted my vote. He answered every question. I heard so many things, so many positives, so many people wishing him well. And he was the, I guess, dark horse candidate. He was the candidate. Nobody gave any chances to this guy. I'm serious, in this township. Lost by 100 votes, right? So there's one guy, I'll say it because he's probably not watching. There's one guy, and if you are, go to hell. All right? There's one guy, he's the magistrate, okay, of the town. He's the magistrate. We'll just say, you can look that up, so I won't say his name. And he went around in a dark, behind the scene, and did a whisper campaign because he didn't want my brother to be the township supervisor and work next to him as magistrate of the township. So I encouraged my brother the day after the election to start floating out he's running for magistrate. So I think he is, so I'll give him his first shout out. Jerry Pritchard, magistrate of Lehigh Township. You ought to do it. I think the other guy would enjoy running against you. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Let's clip that, Lonnie. That was ugly. We can't.
Gerard L. Pritchard.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Hey, let's go. Jerry, you're my winner. You did a great job. I enjoyed it. I had so much fun. We put 14 hours in, and I enjoyed it. I know it's 100 votes, but you're golden in that township, buddy. You will win your next one.
Let's get someone easy on the eyes in here, shall we?
Okay.
That would be JB.
Okay, yes, we're going to have Jesse Barton, Community Relations Director, Cameron Hall, Ella J. Go to break.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and we're at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge because it's a little cold. Now, some of you just wanted to stay in bed this morning because it was warm. Mm-hmm. Some of you did not want to get up this morning because it's warm and you didn't want to go out. Mm-hmm. Let me now introduce you to one of those There she is. Ta-da! You didn't want to come out this morning, did you?
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the time change or if it's sinusy stuff, but I was just like, oh, I love doing the show. But my bed was pretty darn comfortable this morning and warm.
I get it. I understand.
My cat even climbed on top of me and tried to hold me down. Like, no, you can't leave here. I know you love cats.
I was just wondering how you were going to try to put a cat try to hold you down. Jesse Barton, Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall and Ella J, North Georgia Senior Living here. Jesse, you know, I want to say this. We have, since we got together, we try to always bring any information or get the discussion going concerning scams and what people try to take advantage of senior citizens. And
Yes.
you sent us one. You sent us one here. This you sent us one that you've been working on. Winter prep for seniors. What do you mean by that? Winter prep? This is down a line of you want to elaborate on what winter prep for seniors.
Well, we were going to I'm working on uncovering this one scam that is related to genetic testing, but there's a whole lot more involved than I realized than to just bring it to you. So I've got some interviews lined up next week, some phone interviews with some people who have made arrests in these types of scams, so I'm hoping to bring that to you next week. As far as winter prep, it's kind of two-edged. There are some scams of people coming to your house and saying, I'll do this work, I need X amount of dollars to do this work on your house to get it ready for the winter. Your roof might be leaking or your chimney, and you give them the money to go buy the supplies and they never come back. So okay, all right. Well, you know, I want to tell you from me, and I know from the audience out there, we appreciate that you do look into these things because, you know, I call you the senior concierge to North Georgia, and you, although you're the community relations director at Cameron Hall, right,
and that is your job.
Yep.
But this is what you do. I mean, we have jobs, but then this is what you do. So you try to, in the whole window of seniors in North Georgia, help them any way you can, and scams is a big part of what you try to keep an eye on.
Sure, because they're so vulnerable. They're so vulnerable. They are taken advantage of easily. People prey on seniors so that they feel like it's an easy target, and a lot of times it can be. And so as we're getting ready for the winter season, obviously we have different home preparations to make for safety, not only for us, but also for our seniors. So it may be something as simple as, hey, I'll fix your gutters, or I'll sweep your yard, but I need to go get these supplies in order to do it. And so the senior gives them the cash or writes them the check, and they're gone and never seen. Or they might say, hey, I noticed your windows need replaced. Go ahead and pay me up front. And
well, I do know this because drafts, air seal tape around windows, a lot of people do winterize their house.
They do.
And actually, that is something, and what we don't want to make it sound like it's not something you may normally do.
Right.
It is something you may normally do. Winterize your
should.
house.
Yeah.
Drain water lines to keep from freezing.
Yes.
Hose bids outside. Whatever. But take a minute and make sure the individual that knocks on your door, licensed, certified, insurance, references, and is not. I say do not let, and this is just a very firm, do not let anybody that pushes you to do something now, don't do business with them. That's my opinion, okay?
Sure.
Now,
Sure.
there are things like, but what I'm saying is if somebody comes to your front door and says, but I am only offering this $100 discount if you do it now, say, you know what? I want the discount, but I'm not going to bypass my rules
Sure.
of checks and balances,
Sure.
and I'm going to take a minute and see the three references, what they think. Did you,
Right.
whatever. And if it is a scam, they're gone.
Right.
They don't come back.
They don't come back at all. They won't provide you with those references. So, yes, it is a great thing to do, especially for our seniors. A lot of times we rely on wood heat in this North Georgia area. So have that chimney checked. I know our wonderful Montgomery County Fire Department
chimney fires, right?
have already addressed a couple of fires that were started because the chimney wasn't clean. So they encourage everybody, go ahead and check your fires. Hire a known, licensed, reputable chimney sweep to come and check that. If you think that there's some fire hazards in your house or you want your family's house checked, we have partnered up with the fire department to go do those home checks. We can come do safety checks, see where fall risk might be with extension cords going to heaters, kerosene heaters.
Well, you're thinking of so many things that I'm not used to, but yes, different things. You start bringing out that one heater that has a cord, and the kerosene heaters and the chimney. So there's a lot of things for seniors that need checked, but take a minute and anybody that won't talk to you, that's my opinion. If anybody won't talk to you, won't take a minute and say, if they knock on your door and say, I'm only in this neighborhood for a limited time, I'm offering one, I was down the street so I thought I could do yours and this one, all those things, if they will not take the time to let you get references, make some phone calls, and show credentials, then just move away.
Yeah, those are the trigger terms. I'm in your neighborhood right now. I can do it today, but not after today. So those trigger terms, especially if you've not reached out to somebody. If you've reached out and want somebody to come do it today, that's different. But if they're just saying, I'm in the neighborhood, I can do it today, but today only, and only if you'll pay me up front, be careful with those trigger terms. If you do have some safety issues or you want us to look for any fall hazards, leaves are falling. If they get wet, they can get icy. Those can be fall hazards. I would be happy to come out and help do a walkthrough and help you address any concerns.
I think one-on-one, we don't have any on the show here right now, but one-on-one, Jesse would be glad to help make some recommendations, help you with what you need to do next if you're a senior out there looking for a way to winterize your home. Or also, Cameron Hall, any questions concerning Cameron Hall, let them know how to get in touch with you. So anything with Cameron Hall or anything we talked about this morning, they can contact you.
706-515-4100 or on the web at CameronHallofLJ.com.
Folks, don't hesitate to call your North Georgia senior concierge, Jesse Barton, Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall in Ellijay. Folks, that's it. Now, we did get news during the show that we will have a Pet of the Week next week. They did get somebody. Rena, we wish you well. And we will have a Pet of the Week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge next week. I will be back in the office Monday morning at 8 a.m. A lot of high school football. Team FYN Sports. On Twitter, follow us. A lot of high school football tonight in this nice, cool Friday night lights weather. I'm out. Lonnie, thank you. We're gone.